This is a most unusual defense. Normally, the defense in a bribery case is they were gifts, and I didn't exercise any official levers of government power in return for the gifts. Rather, the defense here is I didn't get any of this. It went to my wife, and I didn't know she had it. Well, what about all the cash, Senator Menendez? This is weird now, this defense. I have a fear of banks. I have a fear that the banks are going to confiscate cash. So over my entire lifetime, I've been accumulating cash and keeping it in my home. I don't know if the jury is going to accept that. Remember, the defendant is innocent until proven guilty. He doesn't have to present a defense. But the government's evidence is pretty strong, so strong it will force Senator Menendez, I think, to take the witness stand and offer this defense. How do you think a jury would feel when a United States senator says, it wasn't me, it was her? By the way, the her is my wife, who's not in the courtroom and who's going to be tried in September.
Yeah, the judge ruled, and leave it to Democrats. If Trump tried to pull this, I don't think Juan Merchan would allow it. But the judge ruled the defense is not allowed to put a psychiatrist on the stand who said that Menendez was stockpiling the gold bars and the cash because of, this is a quote, intergenerational trauma stemming from his family's experiences as Cuban refugees. We looked into it. Bob was born in New York. Yes. Break that down for us.
Well, his attempt was to suggest that he learned from his parents who were Cuban refugees. You're right. He's born in America. His parents escaped the Cuban government. That he learned from his parents never to trust banks and never to trust the government and always to have enough money on hand so that you can live for a long period of time. The reason the judge rejected this is not because of its absurdity, but because it's not a recognized scientific theory. See, the judge is the gatekeeper on evidence by experts. The experts can say what they want as long as it's a recognized field of expertise. But if a shrink wants to come in the courtroom and sort of make something up or argue that something is a really recognized scientific phenomenon, in this case, a mental illness, and it's not been recognized by the scientific community, the judge is not going to allow it in. So that argument, I learned this need to accumulate cash from my refugee parents, is not going to be made by a shrink, but it can be made by the senator if he takes the stand.
Okay. Want to go to the Trump paperwork trial, the bookkeeping trial in Lower Manhattan, and just a refresher on how the media is portraying all this. Take a look.
There have been days where defendant Trump looked unseemly, certainly did not look relatable, looked untrustworthy. I thought today, Michael Cohen and the way they did this testimony, this is the day that Donald Trump looked most like a criminal.
People have been reporting that he is asleep. He is not asleep. He's enraged. And that's why I think he's so orange, because I think it's red underneath. I saw him during Michael Cohen's testimony sort of going like this. And I said, oh, here's he sleeping. And he went.
They're there in the front row doing the thing, all auditioning to be the next version of Michael Cohen, or actually more specifically, the next version of Michael Pence.
J.D. Vance is a United States Marine, for God's sake, where it's all about honor, and you just watch them performatively outraged on behalf of the man, I guess, who they want to be the vice president or close to power or something. It's very sad.
Again, it's also very sad. Just no coverage of the Gold Bar Bob trial happening, which I think is just so. Judge, we got a minute. 2 questions for you. Closing arguments could happen Monday, Tuesday. No trial tomorrow. Trump's going to his son's high school graduation. How important are jury instructions going to be in this case?
Vital. Absolutely critical. So before there are closing arguments, the judge asks for proposed jury instructions from each side. The judge then combines them and comes up with a set that he proposes to offer. Then the judge, all of this is outside the hearing of the jury, Rob. Then the judge, with counsel in the courtroom and on the record, goes through each charge and finds out if there's any objection. This is an effort to find an explanation of the law that both sides can agree with. Well, both sides are not going to agree on everything.
Right.
And then the judge has to make a decision. But the lawyers have to know ahead of time what the judge is going to say before they make their closing argument so they can tell the jury. In a few minutes, the judge will tell you this, and from this, it follows that the defendant is guilty or my client is not guilty, as the case may be.